Buenos días y bienvenidos a todos. Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the Spiritual Director and Founding Minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to become a member of our center, please contact me for more information. Today is Saturday, April 17th, 2021, and we are continuing with our annual theme, which is Timeless Wisdom and Evolutionary Vision. The topic for this month of April is Stepping into the Unknown, and the topic for this week is Bless-itation, kind of like meditation, but full of blessing. The suggested books for reading this month are Love and Law, The Unpublished Teachings by Ernest Holmes, and Elastic, Unlocking Your Brain's Ability to Embrace Change by Leonard Mlodinow. So my apologies for mispronouncing that name, if indeed I have. So each week, we start with a spiritual practice called Affirmative Prayer, also known as Spiritual Mind Treatment. And this is a powerful tool and a practical tool that helps to shift our consciousness so that we are open and available to accept all the good that is already present into our life and aligns our thought with all good. So let's move into today's service with intention, as we do each week, from a reading from the Creative Thought magazine. I'll be reading today from April 16, 2014. And just a reminder that spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person. So I invite you to close your eyes and take these words as your own if you so choose. I am in the moment of power. Present here and now, I awaken my mind and heart to the only truth. God is. There is nothing else to know. I am alive within this dawning awareness that, as God is both the spirit and the body of life, so God is the spirit and body of me. My life, every bit of it, is God's life now and forever. I'm exactly where I am meant to be. God has created me in this moment to be exactly who I am right now. I am all potential, and the universe awaits with bated breath to witness my unfolding. Opportunity and creativity meet right here and right now as I recognize that the divine force within is calling me to choose. Choose my next step, choose my next thought, choose my next intention, choose to unveil my magnificence for the world. Now is the moment of power, and this power lies in the beauty and simplicity of choice. I am the divine power in my life, and I boldly, joyfully choose my way. With gratitude and bubbling joy, I implant my word, my choice, into the law that always says yes. And in perfect surrender, I open my heart to receive my good, and so it is. And that was submitted by Reverend Tammy St. Amand, who at the time was a practitioner in Kelowna and now is a minister in Winnipeg. So now, as we do also each week, let's review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. So let's read them together. Our purpose is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. And this is done through our vision, which is to educate and support each other so we can create the life we desire that works for us right now. which is supported further by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. So at this time, I'd like to truly welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and new here to our center in Puerto Vallarta. Whether you are on Zoom call live or watching the replay at a later time, please know that everyone is welcome here, and we value each and every one of you. We teach a philosophy here called the Science of Mind. It's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom, and we offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth, just like the one that we experienced this morning with our opening treatment. And we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes founded this teaching in the 1920s, he had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create the Science of Mind, which focuses on the individual use of thoughts and this powerful thing called the mind. When asked to provide a concise definition of the Science of Mind teaching, he replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So just before we move on, I would like to just go back to this share and let you know that no matter what path you are on, you are welcome here. We honor all paths, for there is only one. So know that you are welcome no matter what. Normally, or in the past, we have been meeting together in a downtown restaurant in Puerto Vallarta. But during this pandemic, we have been coming to you live via Zoom from my house. So mi casa es su casa. And soon, I hope really soon, we'll be able to meet again in person so that we can enjoy some homestyle Mexican cooking afterwards and to have a time for a group discussion. So we are also looking for a new location. And once that has been located, we will provide updated information on our website, our Facebook page, as well as during our weekly messages. So in the meantime, if you have questions or comments, you can post them online or you can send me an email directly and I will be sure to respond. So last month in March, we opened ourselves to the highest possibilities for our lives by living in the question, what is God or the universe's idea of itself as me? What must I become? What must I change? What must I release? What gifts, talents, and treasures do I possess that can be used in service to this vision of mine? What am I willing to commit to? This month of April, we have begun our journey and we live from this vision redefined. Throughout the month, we shall embrace change with curiosity as we navigate our new path with practical spirituality. Each new journey that we choose to embark on is filled with excitement and anticipation, and there may also be feelings of hesitation. This paradoxical state could be called a bless-itation, a combination of blessings and hesitations. I like to add in that meditation because we like to process and know that greater good for our next path, our next steps through meditation. As we travel along, we discover the blessings and our hesitations on our new path. Additionally, we have the opportunity to recognize the power of blessings, whatever is before us and or is triggering us, greeting it with curiosity. What gifts are discovered during moments of bless-itation? This week, our evolutionary vision from the CSL Global Vision is this. We envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought, a world where every person discovers their own personal power and ability to create an individual life that works within a world that works for everyone. And our timeless wisdom from our Science of Mind principles, core concepts, and values for this week is this. We believe in the individualization of the spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one spirit. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. Our core concept is of oneness. When we hesitate or experience hesitation in our path, it is symptomatic of embracing separation. We need only to align and remember the core concept that oneness is our nature and life's nature. So today I'd like to open this discussion with a quote from Ernest Holmes. The one encompasses and flows through all, spilling itself into numberless forms and personalities. And that's from the Science of Mind textbook, page 420, paragraph 4. If God is all there is, then everything in our life is God. Doubt of the circumstances in our human experience is a calling for reconnecting of our humanness with our spiritual essence. The hesitation that we experience in our life is a blessing. It offers an opportunity to remember the fundamental truth that God is in all our life, even if we don't understand it at all. All of it is pointing us to the fundamental principles of new thought. There isn't this life and God's life. There's only one life. So let us move forward in this conviction. Ernest Holmes says this. I know that limitation and fear do not exist in God's kingdom. Light of the Spirit within me dissolves every obstruction in my path. Everything unlike the perfect nature disappears. My entire thought, will, and imagination are saturated with the divine presence, which forever proclaims, "Behold, I make all things new." And this is from 365 Days of the Science of Mind, page 294. So our three key points for today are number 1, doubt. Number 2, bless-itation. And number 3, the power of choosing and choosing again. So doubt. Well, let me preface this first by saying, up until yesterday, I really didn't know what I was going to talk about today. until I had two separate conversations with complete strangers. And they had asked me some questions about whether I lived here in Puerto Vallarta, how long I've lived here, and how did I find my way to be here. That was my aha moment. It was a perfect introduction to what my talk is today. So I kind of gave them a little bit of a preview. So I have a lot to accomplish by the end of this month. My current lease expires and I'll be moving on May 1st. This happens to be a Saturday. So I'll need to prepare and pre-record my talk for that day. And I also have to pack and arrange for movers to help me. And at times, it can seem overwhelming. I've been in this condominium for a year now, and everything is all over the place in its right place. But it's going to be time consuming to gather everything, discerning what is mine, what is my roommate's, and what was already here included with the apartment. It's a lot to do. So can I do it all in the time limit that I'm afforded? That's less than 2 weeks away. So if I say I will never finish this on time, the universe will confirm my doubt. Have faith, I remind myself. All will get finished. All will be accomplished. If I keep working on it, poco e poco, little by little. The doubt or hesitation only serves the stopping and not accomplishing anything. God has given us all that is needed. So trust this and keep working, I remind myself. Dr. Ernest Holmes says this: I know that all the power there is and all the presence there is love, the Spirit Almighty. I know that love protects me and that I am guided and guarded into the pathways of peace, of joy, and of security. I know that this is true of all people. This is what I believe about everyone. This is what exists for the whole world. This is my prayer of acceptance today and every day. I feel myself safe in the keeping of the divine love. I feel the soft enveloping presence of the living Spirit. And this too is a quote from 365 Days of the Science of Mind, page 14. Which brings us to Bless-itation. What about a new job or work opportunities? And the fear or failure, or the fear of failure. The thought of what if often comes up. Change is a possibility. Most likely we know exactly what will cause the what if. Now the universe is giving us an opening for choosing a new roadmap. What if I didn't move to Mexico when I did? I needed to tell my employer at the time that I was leaving, and they would need to find a replacement for me within a 2-week window. Well, just to confirm my correct decision for that timing, my employer was going to need to lay me off for the season, and not knowing for how long. But the universe made it a win-win for both of us. If I was still living in Canada, uncertain of my employment situation when the COVID pandemic arrived, I would not have been able to work. I would not have been able to get out. I would have been secluded and lonely. How blessed am I here to be in Mexico, where it has been warm enough all year round to be able to go outside daily and enjoy the warmth of the sun at the beach or attending outdoor dining with sufficient care for physical distancing and all the other health and safety precautions in place. Before moving to Mexico, I was also helping my father, making sure he arrived at all his medical appointments, as he was no longer able to drive. How would he manage if I wasn't there to help? Well, his new girlfriend, whom he later married, stepped up and took over my responsibilities without me having to worry. How blessed were we all? The universe provides for our needs when we have faith. We make the choices, knowing and having faith that they are the correct choice at the correct time. Which leads us to our third point, the power of choosing and choosing again. When I moved to Puerto Vallarta, I didn't know where to live. What colonial is best for me? How convenient is it to get to work or for shopping? Well, I moved many times in these past 3 years, and I've had many different roommates, yet always knowing that I would eventually figure out what was best for me. When we hesitate because we don't know which way to go, sometimes we can just choose one way. Just take that action, make a choice. But trust that there is information in that direction, in that choice. And it might simply be that it's not the right way to go. But now it's known, and then we can choose again. Sometimes when we recognize through our actions, as opposed to waiting to know everything before we make a move, we get our aha moments. All is for us. All serves us if we allow it. I like to share with you this quote from Thomas Troward. The whole problem of life consists in finding the true relation of the individual to the universal originating spirit. So we find what is best for us. And yes, sometimes that requires making a choice, which leads us to the next choice or the next choice. But knowing that each choice is the perfect choice for right now, that it leads us to our next choice. We know more, so we do more. So as we begin new things, we sometimes experience the joy of the newness and the hesitation of uncertainty. And I can certainly say this is true for me when I moved here. There was a lot of newness, in fact, and a little bit of hesitation, not knowing what I was getting into. But times like this, these are opportunities to feel the hesitation and appreciate its value, but to not allow it to impede our forward movement. Feel it and do it anyways. This week, take note of the bless-itations in your life and be fully present with them. Allow discernment to be your guide. And here's one final quote from John Helder. All power derives from conscious or unconscious cooperation with the principle. So no matter what we do, The universe always has our back and will conspire to our highest good. Our affirmation for today is this: everything in my life welcomes a realization of spirit. And so now is our time of gratitude through donations for our center here in Puerto Vallarta. And we would gratefully receive them through our PayPal on our website, or if you prefer, by mailing in a check. So if you would like to go to our website, which is www.cslpv.org, and on the landing page, you'll see a button there for donations. Click on it, and it will take you to PayPal. And if you can choose to make the payments in Canadian funds, whatever the equivalent is in your currency, and that'll just make it easier for us for accounting purposes. If you don't have that option, that's okay. We'll figure out the money exchange. And if you would like to mail a check, you can send it care of CSLPV, number 403, 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y8N1. So normally at this time we would pass the basket, but if you would like to just go ahead to the PayPal button or get out your checkbook and join me in saying our Offertory Affirmations. One day I'll be able to say that without getting them crossed over. Our Offertory Affirmation, if you so choose. So let me just share those with you. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So if you would like to have a one-on-one connection for a spiritual mind treatment, please connect with me. And if you would like to commit to being a member of CSLPV, Centers for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta, for this current year, or if you would like to be a member of our Board of Trustees, please connect with me and I'll be sure to send you the current form. And although our 64 days of peace and nonviolence ended earlier this month, let us continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions can create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. So thank you for coming today and sharing this time together. Peace and blessings to all. Namaste.